It's a very unusual conversation we'll be having today. I think our mentorship ended, what, 1.5 years back or something? Like quite some time back, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
around 1.5 years back.
1.5 years back. And we're having this conversation today. And we'll be explaining to our viewers why and what. So let's start with what you're doing now. Let's start with that, where you're based, something about yourself. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so I am currently based in my hometown, Kolkata, and I'm working in Cognizant as a senior generative AI and large language model engineer. And I'm currently in a position of technical lead, leading one of the Google client projects.
Tell our viewers where you were 2 years back, what you're doing 2 years back, because that is the most fascinating part of our story. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I started. I mean, it was there. There are many changes in my career due to some personal reasons and my family issues. So I started as a Java engineer, Java developer in Wipro, and after that, I took a career break of 2 years to take care of my mother who was not well, and I was the only primary caregiver for her. And when I came back, I joined in as a technical recruiter, and then I think things started to, I mean, many things started to unfold in front of me. I mean, starting from the way leaders think, because I was communicating with the leaders a lot, how the industry thinks. There are a lot of technologies coming in, not limited to Java. When I was a Java developer, I was only aware of the Java related technologies. Now, since I'm recruiting and I have a computer science background, my stakeholders started explaining me a lot of roles technically, which I don't even understand, but I know things, how things work. What are the technology names? What are the current trends in the market? I studied that. I did market research, and I always came up with data. So then I felt like leaders don't always tell you like what they want from you. If you think that this will add value to the business or the process, you go ahead, do this, and present that to the leader. This is how I implement it. This is how I think it will work. What do you think? It is going to be useful to you? And most of the cases, you will see that they will encourage you that why didn't you do this earlier if you knew this already? So this is how I started having my interest in data. I always, when I was not able to find any candidate for a difficult role, I researched the market. I researched their compensation. I came up with a data report. Probably there was no AI back then, so I had to do it manually. So then everyone was like, okay, so if we present this, I mean, most of the TA leaders are all only, I mean, I would say it's a very kind of a age-old practice, but most of the TA leaders are only following orders from the business stakeholders or the hiring managers. Like, they don't even study the market. They just only go ahead to go, we have to find this within this much of time, within this much of package, with these skill sets. But they don't actually do their homework. So when you as a technical senior resource, you present that to the leadership, and they communicate with the business, I mean, things will change and the process of hiring will change. Like we are seeing like these days right now. So I started building my data journey there. I walked around with all my recruiting data, collecting all the insights, building them only. I started with only the Excel because I didn't have any other tools, and I was not aware of the other technologies like Python and all. And then when I started slowly getting more and more insights and more technicalities into the data analysis part, I started exploring Python with pandas libraries. And needless to say, I was there in Capgemini organization, and they had a very good learning and development portal. Most of the courses were free, so I did that during my free time. I implemented a lot of things which I was not asked. I mean, I thought implementing this would be a better boost to the process of the existing process. I showcased that to my recruiting leaders, and they came up like, okay, so this is the thing we can implement PU-wide. So if you can do this, then it will save a lot of time. So like that way, and when after working for around 7+ years in the recruitment, I felt like I could do a lot more, because I was not only doing recruiting and sourcing and market research and data analysis. I thought that I could bring my data, because I had a background in mathematical and statistical and computer science in my academics. So I thought like I could be doing a lot more. I joined you as a mentor. I asked for guidance, and I learned how to actually showcase my capabilities, because otherwise, the way I am talking now, I mean, I was not able to articulate, or I was not able to present my story in such a way like what I'm doing now. So I came up with a lot of case studies. I came up with a lot of scenarios, like how I helped ease the process, how I helped the leaders shape the business, and bring bring the strategies much faster and much effectively. So after that, when that AI era began in
Hmm.
early
We'll
2024,
go to the
everyone.
AI. We'll go to the AI. Now let's delve a bit longer because my objective is this. As I told you, I want our viewers to understand that it is possible if you put your heart and soul into it. So just to recap Soham journey, you are a B.Tech computer. You did 2 years of Java development, which is like not much. I mean, 2 years you generally don't learn much. 7 years of
Yes,
technical recruitment, right? But
yes,
even when you're a technical recruiter officially, that was your official JD. Hire. We have so many people in technical recruitment. You learned how to analyze data, how to connect business outcomes through data analysis. I remember you showed me a project of, I forgot, some Germany, European, something like you showed, like you did some data
yes,
analytics at point of time, right?
yes,
So long story short, you are not limited by your constraints of the situation.
exactly.
Okay. So I want our viewers to really pay attention to this because I keep on hearing these things. Okay, I don't have opportunities, this and that and that, and all things applies to you. You had your personal responsibilities. And my love and respect for you is manifold because you always prioritize your mom first. Family always comes first. Still you achieve what you wanted to achieve. Okay. I know because I'm talking to you, may think like, but this is what the reality is. So I really want people to soak in that thing and see. Typically, I mean, when you join Career Accelerator, I think I didn't take your call. I think somebody else did, right? The first call, and you signed up.
Yes,
So you were not
Vishwas, I guess.
Vishwas took that, and you were not my typical profile. I mean, I take people who are like management experience into IT. I think you're the only technical recruiter probably who joined Career Accelerator journey. But what I found in you is this like desire to learn. If you remember our discussion, we are discussing beliefs and fears. If you remember that or don't know, that was like
Exactly,
so much years
exactly.
back,
Believe
okay?
so.
And we're doing
And
this
I still
analysis.
remember, sir, when I was not able to articulate what is my biggest fear.
Hmm.
Then you said something that really hit me. I mean, if you don't know your biggest fear, if you will never be able to overcome it. So then I found out like my biggest fear would be I mean, my personal. I will not be able to do this
No,
because of my personal
yeah, yeah,
family problems. So that was my biggest fear. So
got it.
I overcome it, and actually my mother is a very big support. I mean, without her, it wouldn't be possible. Uh,
I know, I
but
know.
yes, like you said, sir, I mean, I mean, opportunities will not come to you. You have to create opportunities for you. I mean,
Yep,
you are in a whatever you are doing. If you do some extra work and that bring adds or that adds value to the business, that will be I mean, projected at a market standard for your role, and
absolutely,
you
absolutely.
can set an example for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So that is really awesome. So now let's come to the AI journey part of that. Okay, so you did that. Then what is the journey? Now you're again, just to reiterate, Soham is leading a project for Google, and it's a big deal. Like leading a Google project on AI, it's a big deal. Okay, so it's a great accomplishment, and it is very much in line to. I remember your message that day you shared in the community, like the beliefs come true, right? You wrote that, and you got that. Okay, almost to that extent. Perfect. Now let's take us through the AI journey because again, remember like whatever things that can be helpful for people who want to probably make some transition, you can give that kind of insights, your mistakes, your learnings, what you could have done better in that entire journey, whatever comes to you. Yeah.
Yeah, so it all started. I mean, I had the interest in AI while I was working in Capgemini. So uh, early 2020, late 2022, when ChatGPT came in, I used it as a prompt engineering. I used to do a lot of stuff like asking it to create interview questions for me that will help me assess the candidates better. Like I might not know if it is a correct answer or not, but I will able to check if they are pausing, or if they are fumbling, or if they are the way they explain, right?
Hmm.
You will understand that this guy has knowledge. So I did that. When I was most of the times I in our practice, there were no JDs, proper JDs for the hiring. So then I started create. I described my requirements, and I asked it to create JDs for me. I did a lot of stuff here and there like this. But when I left Capgemini, I thought to use it in a much more professional way. Like I studied prompt engineering, and it was all free resource. I would not say. I mean, if you want to learn, first learn by the free resource. And if you think that when you are done with all the free resource, then go deeper with all the paid platforms. And I started with all the free resources that was available in the Google Cloud Skills Boost. There is an entire pathway for Google Generative AI. I completed that, and I was doing side projects just to implement all my learnings. I created a GitHub profile, even though I was very much beginner. I do not have. I only sourced candidates from GitHub. I didn't do any repository thing or coding thing in GitHub. So I created a couple of projects, and then suddenly there was a mail hit in my inbox from Solai that they want freelancing AI engineers. So it was a pay as you go. I mean, it was no work no pay model. So
Hmm.
basically, when you don't work, you don't get paid. So it was a good learning experience. I was part of a global team which trained a mathematical and statistical domain large language model. Later, it evolved into a multimodal which can accept images as well. So that learning, I had the very big boost. And then I thought really like continuing my career in freelancing. I joined another organization. Because in freelancing you can do multiple jobs if you have the bandwidth. So I joined another organization called One Forma. It is powered by a parent company called Scientific. So there again, I was again into, since my background into mathematics and statistics, they recruited me for a project where there was a complex mathematical problem where you need to translate that from English to your native language. So I was in part of, since Bengali is my native language, so I was in the team of translating into English to Bengali. So then that project was too much technical, because there I need to code. I need to use the Azure services, the language services to do the actual
So again, just to
translation.
so that people can go along, you started by freelancing in Soul AI, where you were training a model. Okay, it was a remote job, not coding or something, but mostly training a model. Then you went and took another assignment. What is the name of the company you said?
One Forma, it is a parent company, Scientific.
Okay, so here you had to do a bit of coding, connecting to the Azure and everything. So now you're
Exactly.
transitioning into the development side gradually. Okay, yeah, go ahead
Exactly.
now. Mhm.
Exactly. And the freedom I had was like, since it was a freelancing job, so there was no commitment that I need to work for these many hours. So I continued that with to cover my expenses, and I started continued building my side projects as well. I learned one topic by one. Once I
Mhm.
complete one topic, I create a GitHub repository for that to actually build a demo solution for related to that technology, so that it actually helped my portfolio. And since the early 2025, I mean, the AI world just, I mean, the learning part, the coding, the platforms just evolved. I mean, you can just right now even just write a single sentence and it will build an app for you.
Yeah.
So that way I actually learned a lot of things which were not possible earlier, because most of the videos that was limited to some part, but you cannot ask question because those are not live recorded. So what I did was I learned, and I used the LLM as my teacher, I would say, because you can ask a lot of questions if you have it in your doubt, and it will help and such. And actually at that point of time, I was, whatever I was learning, I was, after the end of each topic, I was building a side project. And then I got a few calls from which were full-time offers. Then I thought, like, maybe it's time to move on to a full-time role, because most of the freelancing work was irregular, and there was no guarantee, like how much assignments you'll be getting, or how much irregularity it will have. So then I gave 2 3 interviews, and then I finally cracked Cognizant. And what I would suggest is like that, if you go through uh, the actual guided or the tutorial videos, like the pathway to the AI engineer, starting from the very basics of mathematics and statistics till the machine learning models and now the Gen AI, you will feel overwhelmed. So I didn't go through that. So what I did was I just started learning one by one, learning and then implementing it. This way, if you do this, I know it's very difficult to apply it in real world, because you might not get opportunities. But right now there are a lot of opportunities like this. You can consider this: you are going through a university course as well as you are going through a job. I know it's very difficult for people who have actually family responsibilities too, and they have to cover everything, family expenses and all. I can understand, but with the way, if you do this, if you can manage 2 hours of time in your weekend and you start implementing, or one week you study, and then maybe 2 3 weeks you study, and then the fourth week you implement the learning that you have made. So this way, you will be able to learn a lot. And don't overwhelm yourself. There are a lot of topics that you need to master, but most of the topics you might not need as well, because in Gen AI, having those concepts is will help you a lot. But if you want to work in a what you can say, in an industry level role with Gen AI and LLM, even if you are a software engineer, you might not need to learn the mathematical and statistical algorithms, because you are not directly working with the machine learning. You are only dealing with the Gen AI part. And for the non-technical users, I would say, uh, those who are in much more senior role and want to adapt themselves, just understand the basics and the concepts of the AI world, because you will not be coding, your team will be coding. So if you know what are the different technologies we have, what are the different because AI is evolving each and every day, so it's very difficult to cope up. But at least if you know what are the possibilities that your team can implement, then you can guide them. Oh, can we try this? Can we try that? It's not possible in this age to code for senior leadership. But I would say, if you just go through all the possibilities, I mean, you have to think about what best way you can add value to the business, or what are the possibilities that you can implement. And you can because right now AI subscriptions are, I mean, the highest in terms
Right.
of OpenAI and Google. They are just chunking up all the API calls. You have to think of reliable AI as well as affordable AI, and that will do you actually do your job. So if you don't know what are the possibilities, so it will be difficult for you to guide your team. Like, what are the ways these things can be made possible.
Very good. Very good. Now, just to say, see, don't just consider about AI or something, but you had a magical transformation. I keep on using this word magical transformation because I feel it is so. So if you just look at the entire journey from your perspective, what are the probably things that you did differently that can be repeated again and again? You want to do that, I know. And if there's any mistakes that you did, that also if you can think out, uh, share. You can take some time, think about this. There's no hurry. Okay.
So one thing I did repetitively was, because I had a little bit of, I mean, as I mentioned, I had a knack of working with data. So previously, what I did was, like, I started a lot of course here and there, and I do 10%, 20%, 15% of that course. I forget that. Maybe
Mm,
because of work pressure, or maybe because of my lack of, I would say, continuity to learn that topic. But when I started deciding that this is the field that I want to be in, uh, I one thing that I feel is most essential for to learn anything is the continuity or the desire to learn. And if you start one thing, make sure you create a affordable deadline for you. That okay, if it is not possible within 4 weeks, do it in 8 weeks, but complete it within 8 weeks once you have committed yourself.
Yeah.
Don't leave it. I mean, there will be many challenges. There will be professional challenges. There will be personal challenges. There will be family issues. Whatever it might be. That is why you give yourself a more time, a much softer deadline, but at least complete what you have committed. This is the one thing. If you can repeat for each and everything, then it will help you a lot. So that is one thing. And the second thing will be, there might be some cases that you are not able to cope up with the speed or the deadline. Then what I would say, break it down, break the deadlines. Okay, so I will do this part within this many days. Then I will move forward. If I'm not able to understand, I will again extend. I will reiterate the entire process, and I will do that part again. Break it down, but make sure once you have committed yourself that I have learned it, you have actually learned it. No, not for the sake of any certification or not for the sake of any badge. Just do it for your own knowledge purpose, so that you can proudly say that if I know this, I know this. I know in and out. Not in and out, but I know what to do when things get stuck. And in industry, when things get stuck and when you come up with the solution, that is when you add value. Because a lot of people will write different keywords in their resumes, but if they are not able to deliver, and if they are not able to give solutions, then there is no point. I still remember my mentor in Capgemini told me, like, Soham, everybody talks about the problems, nobody gives the solutions. And I want the solutions. I know there are problems. I know what are the problems are. But if you come up with a solution, then you are actually adding value to the business. So I try to follow that.
Very good. And I'm loving the maturity I see in your communication as well. You said the way you change it, say nobody can learn everything, but what you said, and that really, really is the most important thing. What to do when things get stuck. Okay. The solver mentality. Very good. And if based on my experiences of knowing you, if I have to probably extrapolate something, I see a couple of things. One is, I think what you write is that I call it power of positive constraint. I may have explained that to you also in the past. Like we all have some constraint, right? For example, you have a constraint that I have to be in Kolkata. That is a constraint. Now, if I consider it as a handicap, then it's a problem. अरे यार कोलकाता में ही रहना है कुछ नहीं, right? You said no. Okay, this is my positive constraint. I have to be in there. What can I do within that particular constraint? Okay, that's the one first thing. Second, I see a lot of courage in you. I remember, I think you left Cape Gemini without an offer or something was happening, but at a point of time, when you sign up for Career Accelerators also, it's a pretty good investment. I mean, you still did that at that point of time because you are very, I think conviction is very high in you. Whatever you think is the right path, you just go all the way. Okay. You're very open to feedback. The initial thing I was talking about, the belief and fear, I don't know how much you remember. There was a discussion we were doing about a certain incident in your life. Okay, you are coming with a particular perspective about that incident. When you did the belief and fear, at the end of that, the perspective changed. Okay, I showed you that this is how it is, and but you're open to that change in perspective. That is very good. Okay,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
you are learning by doing, not just reading. I keep on telling people certifications, this certificate, they're just like throw a ball in the air, probably it will fall on some AI guru nowadays. Okay, there's so many courses and certificates, but you learned it on your own by doing things. You're sharing your learning in the community. You're a very regular, yeah, I remember that stock market prediction app or something that you built and you impressing everyone. We talked about our Apple guy who was so impressed by you, right? So everybody, including myself, right? And so I know, hey, tomorrow if I have to hire somebody, get somebody to do AI work, whom I'll be reaching out to, Soham. Probably that is you are now the de facto AI expert in our community. Already a lot of people who are doing AI, a lot of people doing very heavy and heavy duty AI, but you're also sharing what you're doing. And it is also very important. We need to share. If we don't share, how people will know, right? So
So,
beautiful.
so sir, one thing I learned about the networking is like that. In networking, it is more you what you give than what you take. If you
Absolutely.
because that is how you grow actually. If
Yeah,
you feel like you are only taking advice and not providing anything to the community, that means you are stuck in some level. But
yeah,
if more people are reaching out to you for feedback, more guidance, then actually you feel like, okay, I am doing something that actually attracts people's attention, and that is, and I always try to keep myself I mean in a position where I can help others.
mm,
So it actually feels good when I, because I can
absolutely.
understand back in the days when 2 years back when I was not sure, and I came I came I met you, and then I needed someone like and I would say I would what I can say, I would feel like when some people are stuck and don't know what to do, they need some guidance, and if they get a guidance, it's not possible to do everything spoon feeding, but if what they need is they need the pathway, and what should I
Absolutely.
do, I mean, how do I start actually? So if they can give that punch of push, then the accelerator will go on, that's it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Whatever you give out comes back to you. Although I'm a big believer in
Exactly.
karma and everything, and if you help selflessly, somebody will help in return. Okay.
Exactly.
Very good. Before we wrap up, just anything from our career accelerator journey that you remember that probably helped you navigate this path.
Yes, when I still remember, I had a word with Jaspreet one day when that was very early in the morning.
Mhm.
Jaspreet told me like, "What are you doing?" So I just woke up and I need to brush. I didn't even brush on that day. It was that early in the morning, around 6:37. So he told me, Soham, because at that point of time, you also know that I was really scared. What should I do? I was lost actually.
Yeah,
So Jasprit told me just one thing. Once you wake up, and whenever you get time, you are free. You stand in front of the mirror and you look at yourself for 5 minutes. Just look at yourself for nothing. No speech. Nothing. Just look at yourself. You will see, if you do this regularly, you will have the confidence. You will not. I mean, you will not feel lost. You will grow the confidence if seeing yourself in the mirror. That's it. I mean, I did that. I mean, I do that even nowadays also. So whenever I am free, I stand in front of the mirror. I just look at myself. A lot of thoughts revolve in my head, but ultimately, I would say, no, so showing up for yourself, it's actually builds your confidence.
beautiful.
Showing up and backing up your words. I mean,
Mm.
we promise a lot of things to ourselves, but we fail to keep the promises. But make sure, if you feel a promise to yourself at least, then you are, because there is no one there is no I mean, there is no dependency. You are the one who promised yourself, so it's up to you to deliver. So that's it.
Absolutely. I'll share this with Jaspreet. I know he'll love it. So that is definitely something that we need to do. And this promise to yourself, that is what the integrity mechanism, right? If you remember, we have this, EC I've been publishing daily. I don't know if you're in the integrity playground group or not. Because we don't have control over our thoughts or our emotions or anything. We don't have control. What we have control
Exactly.
over is our words. So if I give the word that I'll do this, then I do this. And if I don't, then I pay the cost. Okay. So doing what I say I'll do, by the time I'll say I'll do that, in the way I said I'll do that, that is what is integrity. Perfect,
That's
Soham.
it.
Thank
And
you
I
so much.
still remember, sir, three techniques that you taught me.
Mhm.
First thing, I find it the most important things in anyone's, be it a personal life or be it a professional life, the stoicism, that not all things are under your control. Just only focus on the things that you are controlling. And the second part would be the ikigai. I mean, every day you wake up with a purpose that you are going to do this. And then the last thing, I forgot the name, that technique, but I still remember the gist. Like, if you are doing a long things, break it down to smaller things to achieve your goals faster.
Yeah,
These are
working
the three
backwards
things
plan and stuff. Yeah.
exactly, exactly. Yeah. So these three things I follow each and every day, still till now.
Beautiful. Beautiful. See, a lot of people know this concept. They're not something very new. Probably everybody knows Ikigai. Everybody has heard about this. Point is how you're applying that in your life. So knowledge in head is like that's just potential energy. So all these books
Exactly.
behind me, these are just potential energy. If I read them and try to at least apply 20% of them in my life, that is when the difference comes. So magic lies in the actions. So thank you once again, Soham. It is a pleasure. I'm really fortunate that I got a chance to work with you, and I'm so happy
Thank
that
you,
you
sir.
are inspiring so many people with your journey. And this is just the beginning, just like we discussed. You have a lot of heights to scale, and you'll do that, okay, in the right way, in the ethical way, and in a hardworking way, but still with a strategy. Perfect.
Thank you, sir. Absolutely. Thank you, sir. It's a
Thank you.
pleasure meeting you. That actually changed everything.